Hi, class. It's Dr. B, quick and dirty stats. I thought I heard something in the hallway. Hi, it's Dr. B, quick and dirty stats. We're working on the problem set called 23 cleaned up Dominicans. And we're working on the questions are called extra practice for practical exam JASP 2020. It's 2021 now. Question 2, how did everyone do as one group on the fast? Get a graph. Histogram is best here. Well, maybe histogram is best. Okay, so let's see. So that's the next question. Well, how did people do on the fast? Was it an easy test, hard test? Let's take a look. So let's go back to the data, and we can see we have the fast raw. It was 468 sentences. And so we just want to describe it, right? We just want to, and I even said get a histogram. Well, look, here's the picture of the histogram to help you, right? Or maybe it's a bar graph. Okay, so we're just going to describe it. So let's go to descriptive statistics. The one we're interested in is fast score, right? That's what I said. How did everyone do on the fast? I should have said, how did everybody do on the score on the fast listening experiment, but it's quick and dirty stats. So, and I'm not going to split it because I said, how did everyone do? So let's get a plot. Let's get, well, it doesn't really make, we could get a box plot. There's just going to be one on there. Doesn't really make too much sense to get a scatter plot, but I would say a distribution plot. Why do they call it distribution plot in JASP and not histogram? What do you want from me? That's how they talk in Amsterdam, maybe. I don't know. Correlation plot, that doesn't make any sense because we're not correlating anything. Pie chart, I guess we could get, kind of strange to get a pie chart. I don't think it's going to really look nice. Let's get it and see how bad it looks. Okay. And statistics, are there any statistics we want to get? Well, we might as well look at the mean and the median and the mode. And let's look at skewness and kurtosis. We don't really, well, skewness and kurtosis with 23, it doesn't even make sense. But that's where skewness and kurtosis are, right? If you're testing for that. All right, let's look what we got here. 23, good. Well, it should be 23. The mean score is 373, the median 406, and the mode 428. So mean, median, and mode are not exactly all the same. We could graph that out. Standard deviation 62. The lowest score anybody got out of 468 sentences was 249 sentences. And the maximum, they heard 468 sentences and they had to click one click, right? So the minimum number of correct clicks was 249 and the maximum was 452. So here it is. So it really ranged, but a lot of people scored pretty well. And that's like A-, right? A lot of people scored like A-. Well, this is all very nice, but this is why we have the other variable, right? 468 in my brain, it doesn't make good talking, right? It doesn't make good talking. People are used to taking tests out of 100%. So we created fast percent because it'd be much better for me to explain to you in percents, right? So here we have, now here's fast raw, fast percent. Same data. I just converted it to percents because people tend to think in percents. The lowest anybody got was a 53. The highest anybody got was a 96. We could round it to 97. The mean on the test was 79, the median was 86, and the mode was 91. So it seems like it's a pretty good test. Now, it's interesting that it binned it a little differently. JASP is doing the binning here, deciding whether to, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. So this is actually, for my brain, making much more sense. Everything we did in the first half of this question 2 was correct, but now I'm teaching you something else. I'm teaching you when you're spinning out your story, you have to think about your audience. If your audience is going like, oh, people got 450 out of 462. That's hard to digest. But if you're saying this many people got in the 90s, right? This bar to the far right are people who got in the 90%. And then these are people who got in the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, and the 50s. Now you kind of have a view of the test that's a much better view of the test. Okay? And we said, oh, let's not do a box plot because it'd probably be silly. Let's do a box plot anyway. You'll see that it didn't actually even give me, I checked pie chart, but JASP is like, you can't have a pie chart for this. What are you even talking about? It didn't even give me one. So here we can see the box plot is the same. The only thing really that's different is the axis, right? So a box plot with one box, you can see the heavy black line is the median, and these are the people who scored in the middle 50% or the middle 75%. I have to look that up every time. And then this is the extent. So one box plot doesn't really, a box plot with one group doesn't make too much sense, but maybe your mind works better this way. Or maybe your mind works better this way. Okay, good. So that concludes question 2 of extra practice for practical exam JASP 2020 update. And I'm going to stop the recording and do question 3. Do I want to say anything else about this one? I think I think just looking at the histogram, you can really see how people did. People did in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and a little less in the 90s. I think it pretty much tells the story. Okay, stop it.